Known to be one of the greatest talents in the world of comedy, he's Robin Williams, and these are his greatest impressions.
People ask, how do you do George Bush? Here's a quick thing.
First of all, you take John Wayne and you tighten his ass and you've got George Bush. Doesn't take a lot, you just take your way up there.
It's intense, you can't.
I have that voice. Annunziato. Mandalaro, Galagisto. No, don't. Arriva furra, la gista, è vero. Questa. I'm out of order. You're out of order.
But the guy who I want to see do a voice, I want to see Jack Nicholson as Bugs Bunny going, hello, doctor. What's up? Nice piece of tail, Trixie.
Nobody does impressions like Robin Williams. But here's the strange part. He didn't just copy people. He somehow became them. And sometimes even they couldn't keep up. You think you've seen impressions before, but then Robin steps in and suddenly reality feels flexible, like it can bend at any second. And that's where it gets interesting.
You know, comedy is very hard. Comedy is about women with wonderful hands and a governor in California who talks like this. Man who said, welcome to California. A true American. Now we know.
Did you know?
Known as one of the greatest talents in comedy, Robin Williams had this almost chaotic genius, the kind that made people ask the same question over and over. How does he do it? And when someone asked him how to do George Bush, he didn't explain it like a normal comedian would. He flipped it, twisted it, and turned it into something completely unexpected, breaking it down into absurd pieces that somehow made perfect sense. But then again, that's the part people miss. He wasn't teaching impressions, he was reinventing them in real time.
And I believe there's one man we could run for office and even the French would go, fuck off. That man is Jack Nicholson. Yes! Oh yeah, baby. You'll never have a sex scandal with Jack because he has fucked everyone. I had Angelina Jolie and afterwards she adopted me. And he's done every known drug known to mankind. He'd be the only guy in the world that Keith Richards would go, I have to go home now, Jack. No, I really do. He's fucking over. Where are you running, you pussy? Get back here.
Mr. Sinatra, can I just shake your hand?
Why not?
Oh, Marlene, sell my clothes. I'm going to heaven. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so happy to be here I could drop a log.
And just when you think you understand his rhythm, he jumps again, shifting voices, energy, even posture, like his body is trying to keep up with his brain. And suddenly he's imagining Jack Nicholson as Bugs Bunny, blending two completely different worlds into one bizarre but hilarious reality. And it works. Somehow it always works. But then again, Robin never followed rules. He rewrote them on the spot.
The first day on the set, I came to visit. He prepared for the scene by doing this kind of, "Rah! Rah!" And I was backstage and went, "Me." And he got, "Who did that? Who did that?" "It's me, Mr. Pacino. Nice to meet you." And I went, "Oh, hey, Robin, it's you. Okay, we'll start. Let's do this. Let's do this."
To be or what?
Sir. Dan.
Jeez. We're back again. We were discussing cocaine for a brief moment. The sound crapped up, but that's why I'm using suppository sound. No one wants their tapes back. I wonder why. We're talking about how cocaine basically affects you. There's also something called freebasing. It's not free. It costs you your house. It should be called home basing. Here's a little warning sign if you have a cocaine problem. First of all, if you come home to your house, you have no furniture, and your cat's going, "I'm out of here, prick." Warning. Number two, if you have this dream where you're doing cocaine in your sleep and you can't fall asleep, and you're doing cocaine in your sleep and you can't fall asleep, and you wake up and you're doing cocaine, bingo. Number three, if on your tax form it says $50,000 for snacks, mayday.
When he took the stage at major events like award shows, he didn't hold back either. And that's where things got a little messy. Because Robin didn't just do impressions, he used them to poke at power, at politics, at celebrities, all while keeping it just light enough to stay on the edge of comedy instead of crossing into something heavier. And that balance, that's almost impossible to master.
And the T-shirts keep for thine self.
It's very strange. You think that some people get worried, like if you're going to elect Obama, he's so eloquent that all of a sudden he's going to be elected and immediately go, "What's up, what's up, what's up?" Boy, you saw me in Chicago, that was just an act. I'm Chris. Keeping it real. All the folks in Connecticut are going, "It's so fabulous, Mr. Obama." I was worried, and then W keeps going, "Isn't that the guy?" "No, that's Osama." It's
When I won my Academy Award, he was there. He won, this was his 3rd Academy Award. We're standing backstage because they're just about to take you to the press conference. And he goes, you know, Robbo, now I have one for every decade. You bastard.
And here's something a lot of people don't realize. Back in the 1980s, it was reported that Robin was even considered for the Joker in Batman before the role ultimately went to Jack Nicholson. And while that decision shaped film history, it also created this strange parallel between the two, because their onstage chemistry later felt like two unpredictable forces colliding, each pushing the other further. And that's where it gets wild.
Even Stephen Hawking's going, the child seems to be doing quite well.
Robin's impressions of Nicholson weren't just jokes. They were like exaggerated mirrors, turning personality traits into full-blown characters. And when he talked about him, it wasn't just humor. It was storytelling wrapped in chaos, and you could feel the audience hanging on every word, waiting for the next twist.
Wandering around Stratford after a couple of beers, knocking on doors, going, is this 2B or not 2B? Right! I wrote that! It's mine! That's mine. I'm William Shakespeare, right? Kiss my tights.
But Robin didn't stop at celebrities or actors. He went deeper, sometimes into uncomfortable territory, sometimes into pure absurdity, turning everyday topics into spirals of comedy that felt random but were actually tightly controlled. And even when he joked about serious issues, it was framed through humor, never presented as fact, always as observation, always as perspective. And that's a line he walked carefully.
You know the great Chris Walken quote that one time they asked Chris Walken, they said, if you could have anything in the world, what would you want? And he'd tell them, he went, well, I'd want a tail. And people went, why, Chris? Well, if I was happy, my tail would be up. And obviously, if I was sad or scared, my tail would be down. You're going, I'm with you.
Yeah. I never looked at it quite like that.
No gills? No, tail.
And then comes the part people really don't talk about enough. His ability to jump between completely different personalities in seconds, from Christopher Walken's odd cadence to historical figures to completely made-up voices, all flowing together like one continuous stream, and you're not even sure where one ends and the next begins. And honestly, neither was the audience.
Michael Jackson, the fact that he travels with a chimp, sleeps in an ozone box, even the Enquirer is going, I can't print that.
Strange person, isn't he?
Ooh.
Why would you want the bones of an elephant man?
I don't know. It's like
to sit in your house out in Encino. I don't understand that.
No, it's the way I am. And I laugh, you know.
I have a suspicion, I can't prove it, but I've never seen Janet and him together at the same time.
I don't know.
Even in lighter moments, like game shows or casual appearances, Robin turned simple prompts into full performances, switching accents, characters, even physical movements so quickly it felt unreal, like watching someone think out loud at high speed, except every thought was funnier than the last. And that's something you can't script, you can't train, it just happens.
French?
Ouais, là-bas! She takes the little
German.
Okay. Imagine a wrecking ball.
Oh! Miley Cyrus.
And what makes it even more fascinating is that Robin didn't just imitate voices. He reimagined people entirely, adding layers that may or may not have been accurate, sometimes exaggerated, sometimes completely fictional. And that's important, because many of these portrayals were comedic interpretations, not factual representations, and that distinction is what kept his work in the world of performance, not reality.
And he met with
Arnold. I'm talking about that now, basically alternative fuel sources, most likely. Maybe ethanol.
By the time you reach the end of one of his routines, you're not just laughing, you're trying to catch up, trying to process everything you just saw, because it wasn't just impressions, it was controlled chaos, a mind moving faster than most people could follow, and somehow inviting everyone along for the ride.
Wood grain alcohol, which is what people used to brew up in the hills, you know, all just stale. They were using ethanol. We didn't put it in the car, though. We just drank it.
Right, exactly.
So it'd be good. Your car's going to burn faster, but occasionally it'll just go off the road and go, I can't move. Please get out of the car. It's not me that's drinking. The car's drunk, man. It's drinking.
And maybe that's the real
pure
question.
wood grain alcohol.
Was Robin Williams the greatest impressionist ever? Or was he something else entirely, something we still don't fully understand?